Hello people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mobile Christina Poetess. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new to my channel, please do subscribe, like, comment, share and hit the notification bell so that you may be notified when I post the next video and become part of the family. So as we're closing off Women's Month, I see it fit and important to have this conversation, which I've always wanted to have. So I've asked people to send me questions that they have, especially women, questions that they have as women living in South Africa. And I'm going to be answering a few of those questions because most of the questions sum up to one question. So the first question is, do I think it's important for us to celebrate Women's Day and Women's Month? And yes, I think it's very much important. I understand that there's still a lot of work that we have to do in bringing about a safe space for women in living in harmony, you know, as men and women in this country, but there is so much progress that has been made. So we cannot put aside or erase the works of the 20,000 women who decided to march in 1956 and fought for gender equality and fought for us to have rights to certain things. Today at the age of 22, I'm in a very different position, different space, not just physically, but mentally, financially. I'm in a very different space because somebody was brave enough, somebody was courage enough to stand up and say enough is enough. And that is what we should celebrate, you know. We should celebrate the milestone we've reached. You know, we have women in business, we have women as vice chancellors, we have women YouTubers, we have women almost everywhere. Actually, we have women everywhere. Every single place. We now have women in military. We have women doing things that in the past they thought that they cannot do, or they were not given an opportunity and space to do those things. And that is reason enough to continue celebrating Women's Day and celebrating Women's Month. It reminds us of how far we've come, and that just because we are taking small steps, just because it's small progress, it doesn't mean that it doesn't add up to bigger progress, because the small steps which have been taken from 1956, and I believe that they were taken from before then, they had to come together. They had to set up the whole thing, you know, come up with a date and go there. I don't think they just woke up and decided, let's go. They had to have a plan, and that means that they were taking small steps even before they marched to the union buildings. They took tiny steps before that, and it added up to 20,000 women going on a march. And from 20,000 women going on a march, it led to me sitting here today recording this video and being a graduate and having access to free education and being able to do whatever it is that I want to do. So it is very important to continue celebrating Women's Day and Women's Month. Number two, will I ever feel safe as a woman in South Africa? I pray for the day when I'll feel safe in South Africa. I don't know. I don't think I will ever feel safe, but I pray for the day when I'm gonna feel safe. So in 2016, I was sexually harassed by my cousin, who is a pastor and a prophet. And then later, 2019, 2020, I was raped by my boyfriend. And ever since then, I've never felt safe. You know, before I didn't feel comfortable around men, but safe was another thing. I was not so doubtful of safety around men. But since 2016 going onward, I don't feel safe around men. I actually have to state my boundaries whenever I talk to people, whenever I get to meet guys. I have to make it clear to them, okay, if we agree on a date, I should know, we should be clear if it's a date, or if you are expecting more than a date. Like, I should understand where are we. My guard is always up. It's always like I'm literally always ready, always doing my best so that I can be safe. And that's because I don't feel safe. I stay in campus and I'm 5 minutes away from the library, but I can't go to the library at night. I can't leave the library once it's dark because I don't feel safe. Number three, Do I think South Africa has ever been a safe space for women? No, I don't. Um, I think men have been protected from the past, and their abuse, be it physical, sexual, emotional abuse, has been normalized in the past. My mom told me that their father was um, abusive, physically abusive when they grew up, and they had to take it in. They had to literally like take that in. We have so many women who come up and tell stories of how they were raped by their uncles, and they couldn't tell anybody because their mother told them not to, because they were not financially empowered. So I don't think it was a safe space for women, but because of being oppressed and not being financially empowered, they had to stay. They had to do their best to survive. I mean, I protected somebody in 2016. I protected another person in 2019, 2020. I literally justified the rape that the rape committed by my boyfriend by saying he was entitled to having sex with me. I even said it was sex. It was nothing more than just sex. More than that, it was just sex. He's my boyfriend. He had the right to have sex with me. But deep down, I knew that I said no as much as I could, and at no point did he stop. But I still continued, and I still defended him, I still protected him, I still didn't say anything. 2020, he does it again, and instead of me admitting what he did, I deny it, just to protect not just him this time. I thought I was protecting myself from feeling like I'm a victim. So now I'm trying to pretend nothing happened. I'm denying that it happened, and in the process I'm protecting him. I'm actually empowering him. I'm allowing him to continue doing what he wants to do. I think men have been protected for a very long time, that it made South Africa look like it's a safe space. But the truth is, it wasn't a safe space. It's just that the wild animals, the monsters were tamed, and they were feeding on whatever they could find in the house. And as soon as there was nothing in the house, as soon as the women in the house could speak up, as soon as the women in the house were financially empowered and they were out there and they could talk about it, then that's when the wild animals went out there and made the whole place, just, they turned everything upside down. I hope that I spoke for some women, if not most women, and I hope that we will actually engage and have more of these honest conversations and use our voices in the right way. And I hope men will work with us, in building a South Africa which is better, which is safer for the next generation. Obviously, it should start with them protecting every woman alive today, despite of their age, but also making sure that it's safe here for the ones who are still coming.